can, but
Yeah.
what's the
Do it
point? If you're gonna buy
yourself.
it, why do it?
Yeah, doing it yourself. I've made a bunch of them too, Steve.
Oh, cool.
I could never get them to sound worth a flip. Maybe plug it into an amplifier and bang on it real hard.
Yeah.
But it's fun making them. So that was my hobby for about a
Yeah.
year and a half.
I mean, I'm really enjoying this.
I
Oh,
admire the.
Deanna, this is where your strings are.
Steve, do you do the frets yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just buy the frets and cut the slots and pound them in. And
Yeah, I never graduated to making the frets. I just mark where they ought to be.
oh,
And
and slide.
generally speaking, use a slide.
Yeah.
And that probably contributed to my not being satisfied with the sound.
Could be.
That is very odd.
It's a different sound.
So Steve, what else do you use for bodies?
Cigar boxes. In fact, just today I put one in the mail. Two other cigar box guitar luthiers and I are doing a 3-way swap. And I just put it in the mail. It's going to Dallas. And the guy up there is building one for a guy down in like Magnolia. And the guy in Magnolia is building one for me. I've used cigar boxes, cookie tins. I have some hubcaps in the garage waiting to be built. I have some old violins in the garage I'm going to convert into like ukuleles or guitars. Yeah, I know a guy, he's made lap steels just using a 2x4.
Mm.
Does it have much of a sound?
Yeah. I mean, he has a humbucker in it.
Mm.
And I mean, it's vibrating strings being picked up by a pickup. It doesn't know it's a 2x4.
I have an old mandolin that I've wondered what would happen if I restrung it as a ukulele.
It would sound like a ukulele with a very short sustain, though. Try it.
Would the
I've
sustain
read
be,
posts where folks have tried it before. They've done it.
is the sustain less than it is on a ukulele?
Yeah.
Why is that?
That's just the nature of the mandolins. That's why they do the tremolo with a pick to carry out a note.
Uh-huh. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the violins, the guys who made those, they say they also don't have a lot of sustain, but they're loud.
Wow.
Yeah. It might be because they usually have a post that goes between the back and the underside of the soundboard. Because there's so much tension pushing down, they have to support that tension. So that might dampen the sustain.
Well, that sounds plausible.
Paul, did you get my song?
The Cheers song, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
I figured it could be the one to introduce the 8 o'clock hour.
Oh, that would be perfect.
I'm in the process of recruiting a new ukulele person.
Oh, great.
Yeah, a judo buddy of mine I was meeting with earlier this week, and he's got some guitars, but has been frustrated trying to learn how to play them. I said, you need a ukulele. And of course, I've got spares, and so I said, here, now you got a ukulele. So I showed him like a few things to do. He's like, I could do something like instantly, because he was really frustrated that he couldn't do anything with the guitar. So hopefully we'll get, once he learns a few chords, hopefully he'll join us.
Yeah. That's weird. Well, I seem to be in the dark tonight here. This is kind of like earlier in this week. I'm trying to turn my video on, but I don't seem to want to.
Yeah, last week I had power until just before the meeting started. And it went out. I thought, oh man, I thought I was going to make it to the meeting.
Sounds like the whole story of last week.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. On again, off again.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out and come back in. I'll see what happens.
I didn't lose power last week, but I lost internet for a whole week. So that was freaky because I couldn't get any news and I was just like worried all the time, you know, I know what was going on.
I lost power. I lost internet. I lost electricity, and cell service went down.
Oh, I couldn't have lived through that. Yeah. You okay now? Everything back?
I'm great. No pipes burst. I mean, everything seems to be normal.
Wow. That's good.
Hard to believe, you know, you look outside today, well, how things were a week ago.
77 degrees
know.
today.
Howdy, everybody.
Howdy, Brenda.
Hey,
Has everybody thawed out now?
more or less.
I tell you what, I've never quite been that cold since I was like 5 years old and was hanging out in Chicago. It was cold there, but at least I got to go inside.
Right.
I'm from Chicago.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I lived there briefly, and then we moved to Indiana, which wasn't that much of an improvement actually, is weather-wise.
I always liked it. I always liked the winter and everything. It was, I felt happy to see snow until everything started to go south, you know, with people getting frozen pipes and all that. Then I felt really bad. I was excited, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a reason that I moved to Texas. Okay. and snow was a large reason that I moved to Texas. Okay.
Yeah, so the first snow I did, I think I made 3 snow people. And
Okay.
the second one, I didn't go outside unless we were checking on pipes or something.
Right.
I didn't want to play in the snow.
Yeah, I've been
No.
living in
Yeah,
Texas
no.
my whole life, and I have never seen snow on the ground that long, even close to that long. It was just
Right.
amazing.
Well, it was 42 degrees inside my house.
Yeah, we had that too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
Used every blanket
okay,
we had.
it's really cold.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I
don't even
started
have a
burrowing
thermometer,
into
so I
my
couldn't tell you.
closets. I started burrowing into my closets and I found this great big coverlet that I'd forgotten I had. And it's, oh, okay, I can survive another night. That's good.
Yeah, we were very lucky. We never lost power, so we were warm the whole time.
Well, I was lucky mine came back on in time for Ukes.
Right.
I consider that the greatest fortuitous thing to happen. But a day and a half without power, but I never lost water, but at least I got to do Ukes that week.
Well, mine was out from Monday at 2 a.m. to Saturday at 11 a.m.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. Well, you know, right around Friday, I cried uncle, and my son came and got me, sliding all the way. But said, I've had enough fun here. You can come and get me now. I left the kitties in the house, but they had a bunch of blankets and a bunch of water and a bunch of food. They came through it okay. But because the sister-in-law was already at the house with her cats. So it's like, I don't think we can manage 6 cats in the same house that don't know each other.
Mm.
But anyway, we managed. It was not fun, however. And besides losing, a refrigerator full of food and most of a freezer full of food, I came out pretty well unscathed. So
Did you put it outside?
no, I thought about that, but then it'll all be frozen, and I wasn't thinking clearly, obviously. But the freezer stuff was still frozen 6 days later. Go figure. But I threw everything out last night from the refrigerator, and I had 23 bottles for the recycling bin.
Bottles of what?
Food. Food that I considered rotten, that I wasn't willing to take a chance in eating. So yeah, I schlepped it all up to the garbage can just before I logged on here. So we're gonna have a pretty intense shopping session in our near future, I think.
Well, it's best to wait a little before you go, because at the beginning of the week, I saw all the people in the stores, and there was no milk, no bread, no miscellaneous things that you would normally eat. And
Yeah,
there was no produce when I went.
when did you go?
It was the first day after it was cleared, like the streets were pretty cleared and you didn't have to worry about slipping. I don't remember which day it was, but it was at the end of the cycle, and we already had power and I was feeling confident about emerging. But the store, God, so many empty shelves. That was the HEB at Miller.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I've got one up the street from me on Canyon Ridge, and I've got one on the way to the grandkids' house. So,
and not all of them were open either. Some of them were closed, and the Miller was open, so a lot more people went over there.
Well, the other thing that wasn't very good was like the CVS's were closed. If you needed prescriptions, they never talked about that, but they were closed for a couple of days.
Well, fortunately, I keep a backup supply of medicine. I have at least 2 months supply, because, just because. So, I mean, I could do without one or two of them, but two of them, I would be in trouble if I didn't have them. So.
I was really happy. Our daughter raises chickens. I mean, they just started about maybe 5 months ago, and the chickens just started laying eggs. And at first I just thought, boy, why would you want to, it's a lot of work. And now I'm so happy. It's like, I got eggs, I could make bread,
chicken, eggs,
they're
eggs.
Adorable. They're really, really cool. Yeah. And
I have a friend who just adores.
We have 7 backyard chickens.
What's that?
Yeah, we have 7 in the backyard. We put their brooder lamp in their coop to warm up their coop a bit.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. He's cutting out.
Yep.
We're not.
Oh, Steve. Yeah, he's.
You got me? Can you hear me now?
Laughing and no sound.
Whatever you said, we did.
Yeah, Wi-Fi's been acting up for me all day. I was saying that I have 7 backyard chickens, and we put a brooder lamp in their coop to kind of warm it up for them when it was so cold.
Yeah, that's good.
They were
our neighbors brought their chickens in the house, put them in the shower.
I was taking care of my son's chickens, and all I did was, they were out of town, and all I did was throw a tarp over the coop and go give them unmelted water every day and feed them a
Yeah.
lot, and they did great.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, they
Get down,
Yeah,
Jack.
my wife was really fretting over him. I said, "What do you think chickens in Minnesota do?"
probably live inside.
They live inside the house and inside the shower, no doubt. At least you can rinse it off and scrub it down. Yes.
Y'all want to play
Oh,
some music?
well. Yeah.
Who
do
wants
that.
to go first? Walter, you're all geared up.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's ready. His
Uh,
thumb's ready.
what are you gonna play? I've forgotten.
Oh, the Wilson Pickett. Wilson Pickett and Steve Cropper, the
Oh yeah.
In the Midnight Hour.
All right.
So here we go.
Everybody remember to mute yourselves.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when the love comes tumbling down. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when there's no one else around. I'm gonna take you, girl, and hold you and do all the things I told you in the midnight hour. In the midnight hour, I'm gonna wait till the stars come out and see that twinkle in your eye. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's all the love begins to shine. You're the only girl I know that really loves me so. In the midnight hour, in the midnight hour. Yeah, all right, play it. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love comes tumbling down. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when there's no one else around. That's when my love begins to shine. Oh, you and me, just mine. In the midnight hour, in the midnight hour.
Nicely done.
Yeah, that's a great song. It seems like I had maybe the wrong key.
Yeah, he was playing in C, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, is that what?
It was actually
I
B and
figured
G,
that out.
actually.
There was something wrong here. What we're doing.
Oh well, that's okay. Unusual harmonies, that's all. Mary Jane, you want to do one?
Okay. Well, let's do Catch the Wind.
All right.
Yeah, there we go. Another old favorite from the past. So I don't need these because I've got your excellent song sheet, which is in the right key. Okay. I guess I better get the kazoo out. It's amazing how difficult it is to be performance ready at this group. I'm always forgetting something. Okay. In the chilly hour
pretty song. I like that song.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know that song, but I like it.
I remember going to see Donovan when he was like at the top of his popularity. When I went to the Anaheim Stadium in Southern California, and the entire place was jammed with people, and it was pretty funny. Of course, now who knows where he went or what he did, but it was funny to see someone so popular at that particular time.
Yeah, well, I think he was a Welshman. I know he was from someplace in the British Isles, and some people have talked of him as being the British Bob Dylan, and even thought he was better, particularly on the guitar, than Bob Dylan was. But then they also, some people say that they dressed him up to look like Bob Dylan, you know, that he didn't start out wearing a Bob Dylan-ish looking clothes, but they started putting little hats on him, or you know, he might have done it all himself, his own idea, but it sounds like something like a promoter might do, that if he's in the realm of Bob Dylan, you know, that'll impress people if he looks like Bob Dylan too. But I never thought that their songs were particularly similar, you know, and I never saw Donovan live either, but I did like this song in particular, and everything I ever heard I liked.
Well, it's funny that you should mention Bob Dylan, because while you were singing that, I was thinking, this sounds kind of Dylanish to me.
Well, somebody thought so, you know, I didn't necessarily, but obviously that was,
the promoters did.
Yeah, they thought that was a way they could get, you know, more fans for Donovan to make a Dylan connection.
Did he mumble?
Yeah, well, I don't ever remember hearing him talk, you know, because I never saw him live or anything. All I did was just hear this song.
He had a very crisp and Celtic tone to his voice.
It wasn't, I'm Bob Dylan.
I'm not Dylan.
Oh, that's Dylan, yeah.
Yeah, well, admittedly, I don't know very much about Donovan, but I sang this for another group, and there were some people that had all kinds of things to say about him after I'd sung this song.
Well, do y'all want to hear a Dylan song?
Sure.
Gary, how do you feel about that?
That's a good segue, yeah. I like this song. It like somehow resonates today, but it's like 57 years old, you know. So. Come gather around people wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-Changin'. Come writers and critics who prophesy with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that it's naming. For the loser now will later to win, for the times they are a-Changin'. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changin'. And fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you don't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend a hand, for the times they are a-changin'. The line is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, and the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading. The first one now will later be last, for the times they are a-changin'. Well, nothing much seems to have changed in 57 years.
No.
We're it's the irony of the song.
That was good, and I just listened to his one of his recordings. I guess he might have more than one, and I thought your strum was remarkably similar to his. So,
Oh, really? It's like a waltz, and I don't think of it as a waltz, you know.
yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, it was. I didn't exactly study his recording, but anyway, I thought your strum was pretty close.
well, thanks. I was trying to come up with something.
It sounded good.
Thanks.
Hey, Barbara, you gonna play something tonight?
Yes, I will. There's a little bit of history behind this. I have a ukulele book from the 70s, from when it was strung differently. The chords were all different, and the strings were different. And I dug it up, and I was looking through it. So I didn't provide to his music because it's got all the wrong fingerings. I mean, the chords are G, A minor, D7, and I think that's about it. The song is a song that I learned when I was young, or I heard when I was young in the Philadelphia suburbs. This is where I grew up. In Philadelphia on New Year's Day, they have something called a mummers parade. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but there's string bands, and they're great. They have headdresses and everything. They get together all year. They're these huge string bands, banjos, and I guess there are saxophones, a bunch of other stringed instruments, and they kind of they have a competition. Anyway, so one of the songs now, getting to the song, this is "Oh Dem Golden Slippers." Now in this book, it just has the chorus. So I'm going to sing the chorus twice, and then I'm going to for where the verse is. So it's not going to be very long. Anyway, it's very cheerful, and I like the melody. So that's the background. Oh, them golden slippers, oh, them golden slippers, golden slippers, I'm going to wear. Oh, them golden slippers, oh, them golden slippers, golden slippers, I'm going to wear towards the golden street. Da 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 da. Oh, them golden slippers, oh, them golden slippers, golden slippers I'm gonna wear because is. You can imagine these guys with their headdresses and they strut around and they go, they go like this and they turn in circles. It's great. If you ever, very cheerful.
I haven't heard that song since I was a kid, I don't think. It's been a
Well,
while.
I hadn't either. And I saw this and I thought, that's perfect. I've just got to do something upbeat after this last horrible week.
Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, several of us are not here, but I know where several of them are. Mimi was just run down from a long day. Gary and Paulette are babysitting while they're waiting on a new grandchild to show up today. So they've got an exciting day going on. Marty got his second vaccine shot and is feeling a little side effecty from that. Fran showed up. So, hey, Fran. Fran was babysitting. Now she's not. And I think that's all I knew. So anyway, several of us are not here that are often here. But everybody's okay.
Thank you, Paul. I was going to say I got my second shot today. I might bow out early. I'm not sure if it's bothering me or I just think it might bother me any second. I don't know.
Think positive.
Think positive, exactly.
Yeah.
I've got 2 more weeks to go before my last shot.
Yeah, just think golden slippers. The golden slippers are going to get you through.
You have a song, Dina? Okay. Fred? Brenda?
Well, I was going to sing Catch the Wind, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
No.
I happen to have it
so-
right here.
yeah, I know you do. Mine's in a different key than hers.
Okay.
But I have this other song that I don't know if I'm ready to play it or not. It's a Dolly Parton song, believe it or not. I've decided she's a national treasure, and her songs should be sung all the time.
I'm with you there.
Yeah. I'll try it. It's called WildFlowers.
Okay. Sounds great.
Okay. Now I'm looking at it on a very tiny screen, so bear with me. I'm on my usual iPad to participate here. Let me see if I can get this. Let's see here. Okay, we'll just try it. Here we go. The hills were or at least I can they just died in the sun, refused to just live in place, just a love who's needing freedom to grow. Oh, I ran not where I'd go when a flower goes wild, you can always survive. Oh, I don't know how to sing that part. They were calling to grow, and I wanted to touch to branch out, so I was set from my home ground and left to my dreams. I turned to the road when a flower goes just long to be gone. So the garden one day set me free. I hitched my since he was back. I just long to decide where I'd go when a flower was going again. Always say wildflowers don't just a romantic crowd seeking mysteries unfold. No regrets for the path that I chose. When a flower was born again, always say wildflowers don't care where they grow. Oh, care where they grow. Oh, okay, that's enough of that. Thank you.
I thought that was great.
That's a good
Especially
song.
for
Like that song.
That is. I'm gonna sing that. I like that song.
Okay, well, I'll send it to.
I found it.
I'll
It's on
send it to you.
UTabs.
What
I got
chords
it. It's
were
on
those?
UTabs.
You've got it.
What chords
Yeah.
were those?
I got it on Oz because
C, G, and D.
That's what I thought. I was trying to pick it out by ear.
It's G, C, D.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put the
GCD.
link in the chat.
Yeah, there you go.
Am I muted? Okay. Hey, Christine, you want to go?
Okay.
All right. Not exactly sure how I'm going to deal with the scrolling because you've got multiple verses and I have to kind of scroll backwards. So I'm going to try to zoom out. Whoops.
Okay. Yeah, it was. Can anybody see that?
Well, if you're on a computer, you can probably see it. If you're on a phone, you probably can't. I tell you what, I'll zoom in and I'll scroll up and down as necessary.
Okay.
All right.
So, so I don't know why I decided I started thinking about this song, and I remember it from when I was a kid, and I saw it on I Love Lucy, and Tennessee Ernie Ford used to be a visitor, and and so I just started thinking about the song. I thought it had cool chords. The one that I substituted, that G minor, I could not play the B whatever where you do the bridge and
Yeah.
and all of that. I couldn't do it, and so I put in a G minor, and that's the only difference.
So I was playing this earlier today, and I've played his version of this song before, and I was like, "That's a different chord." And
Yeah.
So you've done some photoshopping.
Yeah. Because I absolutely couldn't make my fingers do that. So anyway. Dun, 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 dun. Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones. A back that's mine, that's weak, and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and weaker and dead. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. Well, I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. Loaded 16 tons of number 9 coal, and the straw boss said, well, bless mine, I'm making new chords up. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and weaker in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't come. I owe my soul to the company store. Just doing the last verse now. If you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't, and a lot of men died. One fist of iron and another of steel. If the right won't get you, then the left one will. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
That's a great song, and it's fun to
Yeah,
play.
Yeah,
I like your chord substitution. I think that sounds good.
it's
That was
easier.
the first record I had as a kid.
When
I
when my
can
son was a baby,
never hold
we
these down while I
parodized
play.
that song to make a lullaby, and it was something like this, if I can remember. You load 16 pounds, and what do you get? Another day older and lip on tit. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't come. Oh, my soul to the baby thumb. Just did that. So I love that song. Tennessee Ernie.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thanks for playing that. Let's see. Fran, do you want to play? Oh, great.
Am I on?
Yes.
I guess I'll play. I'm a little bit scared, but I'll do it.
We're a
My
pretty rough
group
crowd,
that-
so.
My group that I play with, we did, love songs for February. So I'm gonna do "The Glory of Love," which is a kind of from Beaches. If y'all remember that. And just bear in mind, I've just had 4 grandchildren with me for the last 6 hours, and I'm already drinking wine. Okay. It was fun, but I'm ready to roll. Okay. Okay, I'll give this a try. You gotta give a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. You gotta laugh a little, cry a little, before the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. As long as there's the 2 of us, we've got the world and all its charms. And when the world is through with us, we've got each other's hearts. You gotta win a little, lose a little, and always have to lose a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. That's all I got.
That's good.
Yeah, that sounded great.
That was pretty.
Thank
A little wine
Well
will lubricate
done.
the fingers.
you.
Very nicely done.
Thank you.
Steve, you want to play something?
No, nothing today.
All right, and I think we've almost been around. I've got a rerun of a song. Probably all of y'all heard me play it the last time I played it, but it's been a few months, so you will have forgotten it. So I'll do mine, and then Kent's going to do his right before the beer break.
Oh no, I started early.
That's okay. There are no rules here. I see the crystal raindrops fall and the beauty of it all. when the sun comes shining through. It makes those rainbows in my mind when I think of you sometimes, and I want to spend some time with you. Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us, you and I. Just the two of us, building castles way on high. Just the two of us, you and I. We look for love, no time for tears. Wasted water's all that is, and it won't make those flowers grow. Good things may come to those who wait, but not to those who wait too late. And we gotta go for all we know. Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us, you and I. Just the two of us, building castles way on high. Just the two of us, you and I. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 I hear the crystal raindrops fall on the window down the hall. It becomes a morning dew. And darling, when the morning comes and I see that morning sun, I want to be the one with you. Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us, you and I. Just the two of us, building castles way on high. Just the two of us, you and I. Yeah, just the two of us.
Wow, that was great.
Thank you. I have changed it around just a little bit from the last time I played it, and it's different to play on a different instrument. So some of the things that are easier on this instrument there are things about it that are a little bit harder too. So anyway,
I can't imagine how many hours you put into that.
yeah, probably more than I want to admit.
It's beautiful, Paul.
Thank you.
Do you have music for that? Do you have the chords, or I mean, you must have the music, but where did you get the?
No, I figured it out from watching a person play it in a video, so I don't have it written down.
Oh,
Wow.
it's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks. I wrote some of it down the last time I played it. I think I sent out an email with some notes on it. I'll see if I can dig up that email and I'll send it tonight with the video index. So
I'll
it's
work
not
on
exactly.
it for the rest of the year then.
What's that?
It looks hard, but I'd have to work on it for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it would probably help if you could have seen my hands. I should have aimed the camera, I guess, but oh well. Sorry.
You're gonna have to be like Bob and have your strum cam.
Well, maybe after the beer thing, I'll re-aim and play it again, so you can between watching somebody play it and having some hints written down, you could probably figure it out. But yeah, it took a while to get it to that point. All right, Kent, you ready to kick us off?
Yeah, first of all, I got to tell you, this is the song from Cheers, and I thought it was quite an innocent song till I saw these lyrics, and they're so devilish. The other thing is, people want to play along. If you do a G like this, and then you go, and that is when it says, as in intro, that's what you're doing, is just strumming a G, and then with two Ds after that. And it's in 3/4 time if you're trying to play along, okay?
Yeah, everybody mute yourselves and let's go.
All right, here we go. Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you got no lights, the check is in the mail, and your little angel hung the cat up by its tail, and your third fiance didn't show. Times you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. You roll out of bed, Mr. Coffee's dead, the morning's looking bright, and your shirt went off to Europe, didn't even write. And your husband wants to be a girl, and finds a place in the world where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where people know people are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see troubles are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
That's a great song. I think that ought to be our official beer break song. Just play it every
Yeah,
week.
yeah, it might be. Might be a winner.
All right, Marty's not
I
here
had
to
no
tell you,
idea that
but
the lyrics were like that.
yeah. I don't guess they sang the lyrics when the TV show was on, did they?
No.
Except for maybe
They
the
only
chorus.
sang the very first verse and the chorus.
Yeah.
So you never heard the wicked parts after that.
Right.
No.
That was good. I liked it. I looked at part of the tutorial video that's linked in the music there, and that's a good tutorial too if you want to learn the song. I think that's a good place to go.
The Morristown guys are really good for teaching you new material.
All right. Go get yourself something to drink. Be back here in a minute.
Yep. I'll be back.
I'll sing you a song while we're regrouping. I'm not even gonna tune my ukulele, clearly. It's close enough. Smile, though your heart is aching, even though it's breaking when there are clouds in the sky. You'll get by if you smile through your fear and sorrow. Smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness, although a tear may be ever so near. That's the time that you must keep trying. Smile, what's the use in crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you'll just smile. You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you'll just smile.
That's lovely.
Thanks.
That's lovely.
Love those frills.
Oh, how long have you been playing?
About a little over 5 years, I think. Something like that.
Wow. Wow.
You sell your soul to the devil at the crossroads or something?
I think so. I think so.
I went down to the crossroads.
Were you a musician? Did you play other instruments before that? I think we talked about this before.
We've talked about it before, but I've played piano when I was a kid. I took piano lessons, and I played a trumpet in the marching band when I was in high school.
Wow.
And then didn't play any music for almost 30 years and picked up a ukulele.
I told you I was playing ukulele since I was 9. I played one song for 50 years or something. One song, and everyone was like,
Which
wow.
one was that?
I couldn't play anything else.
What was it,
I
Christine?
struggled to catch up.
What did you play as a kid, Christine? What song?
Ain't She Sweet?
Yeah, that's you
What I
did.
love
That was the first one you played for us.
Yeah.
I remember that. I couldn't remember which one it was, but I knew it was one of those old
It was my only
kind of a
song.
Tin Pan Alley
Taught
song.
myself, and that was it.
That's a really good song. If you're only going to know one, that's a pretty good choice.
My family's tired of it.
Yeah, I'm that way with Malaguena. I keep practicing it, and the wife is like, okay, we've heard enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets old for the people in the house.
If you don't practice all your songs all the time, you just lose it. I do.
Yeah,
Lose
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I've picked a handful of songs that I've decided I'm going to try to remember so that I could play them at any time, but it's going to be a pretty short list. Gary Phelps was saying that when he was a kid in a band, he knew, what, 40 songs he could play off the top of his head? So
That's amazing.
yeah. I've never known that much music. I've never known more than one or two songs at a time.
There's this guy, he's a YouTube guitar teacher. He said you should get like a 3-ring binder and put in the songs you want to learn. And then, learn them and then periodically go back and keep them. Otherwise, like you said, they'll just atrophy and you'll lose them. But if you play them regularly, next thing you know, a year goes by and you can play 50 songs.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Well, I've
Yeah,
got
that's what
many
I said.
folders of songs at my house, and a lot of them I go back. That's where I dug up the 2 songs I'm playing tonight. I dug up from the archives, and I hadn't played them really in a long time, and it wasn't like learning a new song, but they certainly needed practice if I was going to perform them.
Yeah, I have a few songs that if I'm looking at it, I could probably muddle through. But I have this idea that I want to have a handful of songs. I don't know how many. 10 sounds like a nice round number that I could play from memory.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I've got a list that I keep, and sometimes I forget what's on the list. If I could think of the song, I could play it from memory. But
right.
If I can't even think of the name, then I'm a son.
That's your set list.
Yeah, you've got a personal set list. Do you want to play your second song?
Yeah, I'll get it over with. So
over with. All right.
While I'm still sober.
All right.
Now this is a good song for playing the longest. It's really not all that difficult. There's a few chords that might not be your favorites. I don't usually play in F, but I had to change the key on this song because my voice had changed. I just thought it just wasn't right anymore. I think I used to sing harmony with a group on this one. Some of my songs are like that. And so they're not gonna, the key never was really right for me, but this one definitely, I put it in a new key. And it's a kind of, it's not really a Mexican song, but it's kind of like the old Mexican story of guy falls in love with Mexican girl and it doesn't work out and he leaves, and that's the end of it, basically. But Gene Autry was famous for doing this song. Down Mexico way. That's where I fell in love when the stars above came out to play. And now as I wander, my thoughts ever stray south of the border, down Mexico way. She was a vision in old Spanish lace, and for a tender while I kissed the smile upon her face, for it was fiesta, and we were so gay, south of the border, down Mexico way. And she smiled as she whispered mañana, never dreaming that we were parting. And I lied as I whispered mañana, for our tomorrow never came.
didn't really look at what that song was when you sent it. I like that song a lot. I haven't heard it since, I don't know, a long time, but it's a nice song.
Yeah. Well, I used to
It was fun to play along with too.
but, I don't know. I used to sing a lot of cowboy songs, and this was one of them, and this was one where somebody else in the group did the lead, and I was just singing harmony. And so I didn't have a real big role in the song, but I did like it. And then when I came back to try to sing it on my own, it's like, I didn't like it as much because I had to do everything. And I wasn't real sure what I was supposed to be doing. In fact, when I put it in the new key, I wound up changing some of the chords because it just didn't look like, it seemed like they could be better than what was in there originally. And I saw an internet version too. You know, I saw some other chords, and I kind of get my own version from a combination of my archives and what's on the internet.
Yeah, I like to do that too. I rarely play the version I find. I'll Google it, I'll get some chords, and then I'll Google and find another version and sort of end up merging them together in some way.
I'm glad other people do that too.
Yeah.
I try to think too about what would people want to hear, you know, like with Catch the Wind, that's a song that a lot of people know. And I had two different versions of that. I had, you know, one of them looked like maybe Donovan Leitch had put some kind of archaic words in that Americans might not understand. And so when they got over here, they got changed to something they thought Americans would relate to. But I liked his original words in two places and kept them in.
Well, yeah, that's the version that I was going to play this evening. His version has a C sus something or another, C sus 4 or something.
Oh, you're talking about chords. Yeah, I'm just talking about words.
Yeah. Well, he has a twud in there. You know, it'd be twud.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's his original version.
Yeah.
You sure
Well,
you don't
the
want to
word
play it for us?
quell is there, and Quell. I had to look it up in the dictionary. I just wanted to make sure that quell got changed to kill, and I didn't particularly like that very much. And so I thought, well, what does quell? And quell describes a situation perfectly.
Okay.
To abate or to, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, kill. Yeah, I mean, you can kill your fears, but that's a pretty strong thing to say. There's another word that's a lot softer in nature for fears.
Yes. So I have a ukulele question. Now, when I was sitting over here shivering, I was trying to play my ukulele and the cigar box, and it wasn't very happy and it wouldn't stay in tune. So I put it back in its case and put it in the closet for a few days. But now I think that the strings are all stretched out and they're weird. And I'm thinking that I need to change the strings out. So I have some more Fremonts that I got from Strings by Mail, but I've got the clear version instead of the black line, and they're not low G, I don't think. So when I'm restringing this, is it just a tie bar like a normal ukulele?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the strings probably keep going in tune because of the temperature fluctuation. Once they come to stabilize, they should settle.
Well, they're just not happy. So I'm going to remedy the situation and see if I can make the ukulele happy again.
All right.
But it turns out that the little soprano Enya that I got for Christmas doesn't care what temperature it is. I mean, I was just playing it and having a good time, you know. It didn't seem to, cold didn't seem to bother it, you know, nothing, just play, you know.
Yeah,
So
I have
I
a
was
toy
pretty happy about
ukulele
that.
hanging in the garage. It's got, looks like fishing line for strings on it.
Oh, yeah.
And it always goes out of tune, but I can tune it up and then play it. And it just hangs there in the garage.
Yeah. Well, my son's garage was so cold that he moved they took all the food out of the refrigerator and just put it on the garage floor for the duration. And they didn't lose any food.
Yummy.
I didn't lose any food either. I just put some ice blocks in my refrigerator and used it like an ice chest, and it was so cold in the house, I didn't throw anything out.
Well, you would
Well,
think, like, we have a freezer in the garage, but if the freezer was already frozen when the power went out, and
yeah,
it's freezing inside the garage, it's
yeah.
not going to thaw.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't lose hardly anything out of my freezer. I mean, it was 42 degrees inside and probably about 40 degrees inside the freezer too. So, you know, I looked at the meat and it's solid frozen. So, well, we'll keep this one.
I'm
And that's
glad you
pretty
got to
good
keep
after 6
something.
days. Yeah.
A lot of stuff in the average refrigerator ought to be thrown out anyway. It's just that nobody wants to clean out their refrigerators.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind that the stuff in the freezer is a lot
time.
colder than just freezing. It's like, 20 degrees or colder in there. So it would have to power back for a long while for it to get above a temperature where it'd be a problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, my refrigerator is a lot more modest than that. It's an El Cheapo from Best Buy. You know, I'm going to get another one, but not until this one just completely craps out. But then I'm going to get a nice one, I think. I'm saving up money.
I have a question about instruments. Is it true that if you leave, I know I had a guitar and I left it tuned or just tight, and then there was heat and I didn't touch it because I don't play guitar. It was just something I bought for my daughter and she left it behind when she went to college. And so then I tried to tune it up for her again, and they told me I could not do it because I hadn't loosened the strings in the heat, and they said I ruined the board, the whatever.
When you say heat, what kind of heat we talking about?
Well, just regular, like, I was in Chicago. It was just steam heat in the winter, and it was just sitting there, and apparently it was tight. And what happened was the wood changed and it deformed the neck. And they said that if you tried to tune it, that it would just probably snap or something. They said there's nothing I can do. So they said the guitar is a waste.
Yeah. So your neck is
Maybe.
warped. Is that the
Yeah,
situation?
yeah.
A warped neck? Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a situation like that, and I had a steel rod in the neck. This particular guitar was a Yamaha, and they just said, well, we can fix that, and it wasn't very bad. But if it didn't have a steel rod in it, which probably a lot of guitars don't, there wouldn't be any way they could fix it.
Well, most guitars these days have truss rods, which give them stability and they can adjust the relief on them. But the biggest thing about guitars and heat is that the bridge is glued on and the fretboard is glued on. And so like you put your guitar ukulele in the trunk of your car and it gets to 130 degrees in there, the bridge will come flying off because it's under tension. As that glue softens, it gives way. But yeah, if it's hot enough, yeah, the neck could bend, but it would take a lot of tension for a long time to warp a neck at just room temperature.
I had a guitar that lost its bridge like you've described, only the circumstances were cold. It was a freezing night, and I had been someplace with my guitar, and I left it in the car, and it wasn't in there very long. It was just in there maybe about an hour. And then somebody at the house said, well, let's play guitars, you know. So I went out to the car to get my guitar and brought it in and opened the case, and the entire bridge had popped off, and all the strings were
Wow.
sort of lying loose in the
Flopping
case.
around.
And my guitar, you know, that was the only one I had that I played a lot, you know. So
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I
due
actually
to
have a
cold
guitar
that
like that.
happened.
My wife is on this like neighborhood app, and somebody posted a picture of their guitar with the bridge off and said, please help. Apparently it's her husband's mom's guitar, and she has passed. In any event, the cat knocked it over and the bridge came popping off. And she wanted to know if anybody could fix it. I said, yeah, I can fix it for you.
Christine, if I were you, I would take that guitar to a professional before you write it off. It could indeed be reparable. One time I bought a guitar with a broken neck from Goodwill for $5,
Right.
and even I was able to fix it.
Yeah.
Don't give it up without a professional looking at it.
Yeah. That's what, I went to the Old Town.
Or
School of
Steve
Music.
could help you there if y'all happen to be neighbors. But
Will you? I would pay for you to fix it if you
Um,
can.
Yeah, I'm in San Antonio right now, but I'll be up in Austin this weekend. I can take a look at it if you're available.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, I'm coming up Saturday, pick up my horse. So, although I'll be pulling a horse trailer.
Right. Well, I mean,
We might have to figure that out.
it's no rush. I just didn't
Okay.
want to just write it off, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
nice looking. I mean, it's a beginner's guitar. I think it's a Yamaha. It's right over there. And they told me, I went to Old Town School of Music, and they told me they couldn't do anything.
Well,
If
you
people
did
can build
select a
guitars from
professional.
scratch, any instrument can be repaired.
Right.
The question is, what is
Yeah.
involved to repair it? And does it cost more to repair it than it would cost to buy a new one? That's the issue.
I see.
Yeah. Or they may have said, yeah, you can fix this warped neck, but the cost of that for the luthier, you might as well just buy a new one.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. Well, sometime I'm gonna check it out with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put my my phone number in the chat for you,
Okay.
and you can text me or whatever.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, folks, I have been inspired to go look for more goofy, funny songs. See what I can come up with. But right now, I'm going to be quitting for the evening. So see you later.
All right, it was great seeing you,
Oh,
Walter.
Later on.
Take care of yourself. Hey, Gary, were you gone? Did you just come back?
Yeah, everything froze up. I could hear everything that was going on, but everything was frozen, and my mouse wouldn't work, and I couldn't.
Oops, just like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
I need a teenager around here to fix all this. Thank you. Did I miss what I missed? Hey, I want to thank you for running, music video. You translated and all. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. There's Marty sent me a pointer to a website that'll translate the music from the chord above the word into the chord embedded in the word, which is the biggest part of that project. And so I just ran that and then did the touch-ups that you found. So it didn't take very long.
Okay, you don't have to just, you don't physically go in and put brackets and the key in the right place.
No, I've done that, but I didn't do that in this time. And sometimes that software works well, and sometimes it doesn't work at all. I think it depends on whether the chords are formatted with tabs or spaces on them.
It still had a couple of.
So anyway, that wasn't hard. Let me see if I can find a link. I'll send it to the the chat.
Yeah.
It's it sometimes works, and when it does, great, and if it doesn't, then it's probably not worth the trouble of doing it manually.
Yeah. Also, like your idea of revisiting a song every now and then, after 25 or so songs, we're like, okay, what this one, so.
Yeah, that's I said I was trying to learn a few that I just keep memorized, and so I'm gonna start rotating through those like during the beer section and just play them until y'all get sick of them and make me stop.
I'm gonna try that one that I ditched on.
What's that?
I was saying earlier today that,
I ditched on that one time when I panicked. I want to try that again.
Well, you should, yeah.
Earlier today, I was saying that I put in the mail this build that I did, and you realize I have pictures here I can share with you and show you if I can share a screen for a minute.
Yeah, I gotta figure out where to click. Okay, try again.
All right.
Whoa.
Nice.
Look at there. Wow.
Yeah, so again, this was for a Texas-themed build for Texas Independence Day, which is next Tuesday. So I've got a little Texas sound hole over here in the side, a big Texas and Longhorn sound hole. And then the back side, I have decoupaged some Texas items on there. This guy who's going, he lives in Dallas. So I put their teams up there, and anyway, but that's it.
Very nice.
Very good.
Did it stop sharing?
Yeah, you're not on the screen.
You've disappeared.
Oh, have I? Oh, I have. How about that? Oh, I see why.
Yes, you have.
All righty.
There you
back.
are.
Yeah, so that's the latest. I'll be doing a video on it, posting it. Well, I'll probably on the 2nd, on Independence Day,
Okay, good.
Texas Independence Day. So yeah.
You said you teach, right? Where do you teach?
The University of St. Augustine in Austin.
Okay.
I'm an occupational therapist, and I'm a doctoral coordinator. So I supervise these doctoral students' capstone projects. I guide them through the process of identifying a problem and doing whatever the project is.
Nice.
Yeah. And my daughter's in the doctoral program. She's halfway through now.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Proud dad. Yeah. It's a quiet group tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I can always play Ain't She Sweet,
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
5 million.
Listen to anything.
Well,
Play it for us.
Play it.
Big Hillas.
well, I guess I'm going to take off then. Everybody, it was good to see you. Very
As
nice.
well.
As always, really wonderful. Thank you.
We will see you next time.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'll miss the next couple of meetings. I think I've got conflicts for the next 2 Tuesdays, but I'll try to learn the song for the next time I make it.
All right, cool.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Actually,
Take care.
So long, Dina.
Cheerio.
Brenda, I've been working on a song that you introduced to us,
Which one?
House of the Rising Sun.
That's a
Oh
good
yeah,
song.
I love that song. I just do.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a while to figure the chords out, not the shapes, but just the transition. I kept going to the wrong one.
Yeah.
But that's another one that I play enough to aggravate the wife.
Yeah, well, that life is good
Yeah.
when you can aggravate the wife, or the husband, whatever. I'm an equal opportunity aggravator. Ask anybody. Well, I'm gonna cruise on and get something to eat. It's been real, people.
It
We'll
has been
see you
real.
next week.
See you, Brenda.
Yep.
Yeah.
See you,
Good to
Brenda.
see you, Brenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Later.
Well, I should probably call it a night too. I got things to do as well.
All
So
right.
y'all have a good one.
All
We'll see
right.
ya.
I guess we're done. See you, Steve.
Okay.
Yep.
We're
When
done.
I used to go to happy hours, I was always didn't want to be the last person to leave because you were stuck with the bill. So,
Well, there's no bill.
so I'll leave.
Yeah.
Gotta
There's-
think of a different
Glad
excuse.
when that.
All right.
Good
I'll
night.
see y'all
all.
later.
Enjoy.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
All right.